Hello, welcome on in. Good night, good evening. How are you doing? It's Thursday again, so here I am. I've done this like 100 times now or more, and I don't know why. It's just always, I've always liked this. Anyway, hi, I'm Jeff. You can also call me Wags, and this is Wagworks GA. If So like I chugged coffee like going into this because I was feeling kind of tired and headachy, and I feel like it's had an effect, but maybe not the effect that I wanted. But that's okay. We're gonna keep going because we're professionals around here. I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Anyway, I'm Jeff. Yeah, this is Wagworks GA, and what you'll see here is art. So I hope you're having a good night so far. The Jeff starts with a G, which may be a random thing to point out, except that our name has a G and an A. I'm the G, and the A is my wife, Ashley, and together we work on kids' comics. So if you've watched Stream, you've probably seen some of the CoreToons work we've done. Maybe you saw some of the work I did on our piece for this, the anthology we did with an awesome group of comic creators. So you'll see that here. Sometimes you'll see slice of life comics. I haven't done one of those in like a year or two. I feel like it's been a while. But you'll also see video game fan art, which is another thing I enjoy doing, and D&D fan art, which is what we'll be doing tonight. Let me adjust this chair. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Sorry for the chaoticness tonight. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna be working on our D&D piece tonight. We have been pushing forward on it. I'll say more about that in a little bit. Good progress, I think, but we had to take a pause to work on some CoreToons stuff. As I've probably mentioned here before, CoreToons Tribune is our free, now we're offering it more for free, but it's our digital magazine that we make with some other comic creator friends, with short educational comics for kids grades like kindergarten through 5th grade, although really anyone can read it. It's good times. I get to do interviews with other comic creators. We usually have a guest, like a friend from the kids comics community in there. We have some fun activities. We have obviously the comics. We have had a blast making these things. Our April issue is coming out soon, and I had a few things to wrap up as I had both a comic to finish and the cover to finish, which last week we worked on that cover, and that was super fun. I'm excited to show you guys how it came out. But I finished that, so all of my CoreToons related work is in for this issue, and we're clear sailing to go ahead and push through on this D&D piece a little bit further tonight. So that's the plan. For announcements, so this weekend was the Purple Day Expo at Coronado Springs Resort here at Walt Disney World. I'm in Orlando, by the way. That's where I live. They had the Purple Day Expo, which is an epilepsy awareness kind of community event. It's kind of amazing. People come from across the nation, but there's also obviously a lot of local folks as well. And there's like informational sessions about research and therapies and stuff like that, but also it's just a chance to meet a lot of community for individuals with epilepsy, or for families who have individuals with epilepsy in them. We are definitely in that boat. We have a child with epilepsy. It's a really just great chance to come together, and you have friends in this community, and you get to see everybody, and everybody understands what this life is like, because it is not always easy. It's different. It's still very good, but it's nice to get together with people who live it as well. Just this a little bit here. Do this better. I'm a little bit less blue. No, I'm still very, very blue. Less blue. Okay, cool. Anyway, it's amazing. It's an amazing community. And there was one awesome individual. She's a writer, and she wrote this, she has this whole series where she basically developed a superhero, who was able to convert her epilepsy into a superpower, like literally converting the electricity from it. And so she has this whole book that she did. We picked up a copy because obviously, one, I want to support people in both these communities, and two, because like it's excellent, it's awesome. Yeah, so Epilectra is the name of the hero, and Sue Susserman is the creator, with Jamie Brown as the illustrator. It's so well done. Like, this was really awesome. What a good find. And I know she's currently she's got book 1 done, and she has book 2 written, but is waiting to either get a publisher or figure out how she's going to fund getting the second one, because, you know, hey, it turns out publishing books out of your own pocket is expensive and hard, which is very understandable. So anyway, I just wanted to plug that and call that out, because it was really awesome to see, and got her, hopefully I'll be able to help her get connected in with the Kids Comics Unite group, as well as there's a lot of graphic, I think they call it graphic medicine, so graphic novels and comics about medical stuff. There's a huge group on it, so hopefully you can get her plugged in with that, and because I would love it selfishly to see more of this book myself. But that was really cool. It was a full day, but they do such a good job with the expo, and it's always such a joy. It's such a great community, really. So I talked about it last week. We had a kiddo, they have a costume contest, which is always kind of a fun thing. And one of our kiddos made a costume for said contest. And I promised pictures, or a picture at the very least, because it was really impressive what she put together. Trying to see where we have a photo of this. Hold on. Obviously, as always, I could have prepped a lot more than I did. So give me a moment to work through that. But yeah, the costume, if I can describe it for a second, is the Purple Knight, and she thought of this all of her own. She actually has her own YouTube channel that she started called Purple Knight, where she does epilepsy awareness videos. I agree. I haven't even said anything about the ears that I'm wearing, but yes, my ears are a little bit higgledy-piggledy, if you will. Or if you won't, they're either way. They don't care. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Okay, I found him. Good. So this is cool. Yeah. So yeah, our daughter, she found these great tutorials for making cardboard armor, and it's kind of amazing how it came out. I was like, I'm just gonna pull this in. So this is, one second, sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing. There we go. Okay, so here's one. Here's her up on the stage at the actual event. Again, this is all made out of cardboard, and this armor actually folds and moves with her, which was kind of amazing how it came out. And actually, I've got one from when she was making the helmet, which just getting that detail was super cool. But yeah, so obviously she definitely has, with our family being impacted by epilepsy, she's taken a real interest in, can I fix this? Can I just, here, what do you want to do? Up? Are we up? Okay, I think we're gonna be an up here today. Really taking it to, like, in her heart to, like, help spread epilepsy awareness. And I think it's been really cool seeing her grow and do some of these creative things to do that. Okay, hold on. Here's the other one. Here's the helmet. Like, when she was working on it, it's so cool. Like, seeing how you actually get a round, like, helmet out of cardboard, and like this whole face mask part of it that she did, actually, like she rigged up like a whole Velcro thing where she could just, it's adjustable, so you can take it off for comfort, stuff like that. So it was kind of cool. And then like she sewed the leg armor and the pauldrons and the chest plate and the helmet she all did via tutorial, and the shield she's just like, oh, I know what I'm doing, and just put it together all herself. Like, I thought that was super cool. Anyway, I'm just being a proud dad and bragging a little bit, but if you want to make your own cardboard armor, the YouTube channel I think is Cardboard Armor Forge, and they've got a lot of stuff up there. You can follow their directions to make it all. It's neat. It's I don't know. It was pretty cool. I don't know how many adjectives I can throw out there, but I was just very proud to see her take that on and see how it came out. She loves doing this contest. This is her second year doing it. The previous year she did she was an epilepsy service dog, and so she had like she rigged up like the ears like puppy ears, and like sewed like a faux fur fabric that she got like onto like over a shirt. It said like service dog on it, and like had like a tail with it, and then she did like a purple spot around her eye because purple is obviously the epilepsy color. Anyway, it was all she loves doing it. It's been fun to watch her do all this and kind of grow. I have ears, which is, not just because I like my bunny over here. Yeah. Yep, that meteorology training is really coming along great, Jeff. Okay, anyway, it's there. Bunny. Not just because I like my bunny, but because, hey, it's Easter weekend. I don't know if we all celebrate. If you do, happy Easter weekend. If not, I'm just wearing rabbit ears, and that's cool. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's where I landed. So anyway, I think the coffee's finally hit, though, so that's exciting. Okay. So we talked about Purple Day, we talked about Epilectra, we talked about cardboard armor, talked a little bit about CoreToons. Oh, yeah, while we're here, I was going to show. So last week I was working on the cut paper art, which is always a fun choice for a digital magazine. So I didn't have it quite done, but I got a pretty good ways on it. So I finished over the weekend cutting and gluing and assembling, and I got it to here. I was very, very proud of how this one came together, especially like the daffodils. All those petals are individual, and the daisies as well. But like, and then what I did, I wanted it to have like that sense of depth to it. So like, there's a whole bunch of like stuff rigged up underneath here with like, you've got some like just kind of regular like bifold things to help it prop up, but also some like accordion fold stuff here to make it really, these daffodils really spring forward. No pun intended, maybe a little pun intended. But yeah, I love how this came out. I love how it feels like it has that depth to it. This was fun. Like I said, I do a little bit of cutting to help with like the homeschooling stuff for the kids, and every now and then I'll do stuff like Valentine's to do like a little bit of like of cut paper, and it's fun. I always enjoy kind of switching modes and working that way, but this was a really fun project to do, to really think through a whole illustration and a whole scene and do it. I'm very tempted to consider doing something like this for a GDQ piece, and then like shadow boxing it and sending it. But it'd have to be, maybe if I did it small. Could I encase it in resin? I'm already brainstorming, y'all. It's but anyway, this was fun. I had a really good time doing this, and I was very pleased with how it came out. So that's where we landed on that one. Also, I finished the comic, which is also going to be in the April CoreToons. I'll hop on over to art mode real quick so we can share that, just so you can see where that all landed. There we go. So this is the second one in our series on composting. Just kind of, again, reviewing all that, what happens when you send something to a landfill versus what happens when you compost it. It was still crazy to realize that due to the way that they pack down and seal off and insulate stuff in a landfill, things can last, like a banana peel can last like 80 or more years. They essentially can get mummified in the landfill, as opposed to like 6 weeks to 6 months for it to break down naturally if you're just like toss it on the forest floor. Not that I'm saying that you should toss banana peels on the forest floor. Obviously, that's a tripping hazard. That's polluting. But I'm just saying that things break down much better when they're exposed to moisture and bacteria and all that stuff, whereas in a landfill, they can't survive. The bacteria can't survive. The moisture is generally removed. Yeah, it was interesting doing some research on this one too, like learning that they have to vent out the methane a lot of times, which methane is an even more potent greenhouse gas than CO2. Some landfills do use that methane as a biofuel to then generate energy with it. So they're actually doing something with it, which I thought was pretty neat. Although then you are burning like a fossil fuel, which is not optimal. So anyway, it was fascinating doing all the research for this one and kind of a cool learning experience. But it's done, yay! All the CoreToons work is done. So yeah, we're going to be heading back to our D&D group thing, group illustration this week. But first we'll start with a warm-up now that I've yapped for like 15-20 minutes. We can actually get to the art. So let's do that. Okay. So we're gonna jump into warm-up. Yeah, if you're a regular here, you know how this goes. If you're new here, we're just gonna spend 5 minutes kind of loosening up the arm and getting the brain into art mode just before I go into my main work for the night. And I like to warm up with Pokemon. For a while, we were just doing kind of like sleeping Pokemon poses, but it's been much more fun. Frank, our moderator, suggested our I say our, but like I'm the streamer, my moderator. My number one and only moderator, and I think longest follower. At any rate, that we do Pokemon fusions, and it's been a lot of fun to do that. I'm gonna take these off. These are actually kind of bugging me right now, especially since I'm just recovering from a headache. So, bye, bunny ears. We'll see you later. That's fine. Oh my gosh, I need a haircut. Wow. Anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna use our good old random Pokemon generator website. But I say our, it's not mine. I didn't make it, but it is great, and I use it a lot. And we'll randomly pick 2 Pokemon from just all the Pokemon, and we'll go from there and see what we come up with. There's only a handful that we've gotten enough times so far that I would re-roll to see what we get. But we will first see what pops up. I should probably make the disclaimer. If I seem more random than usual, and I'm feeling like I do, there's a reason for that. I think I made it a secret. I have ADHD. Fairly recent diagnosis in the last year. And I've been on management medications to manage it for a while. But for a while, I've been experiencing some nausea. So I was trying for the last week to see to confirm just that it's worth it and that they are in fact a benefit, and confirming that if I didn't take them, that the nausea wouldn't happen. Which, good news, the nausea didn't happen. But it's now my ADHD is much less managed. So. Y'all are seeing that live and in real time here. So that's the disclaimer. So let's go ahead and randomly generate some Pokemon. Okay. All right. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, nice. Okay. So we get a one of the Pokemon Scarlet. past Pokemon, and then a legendary. Slitherwing and Thunderous Therian. This should be interesting. This could be a fun combination. Okay, we haven't gotten any of these before, so I feel pretty good rolling with this. I'm gonna go ahead and take that down while I pull up reference real quick, and then we can get going. By the way, Fallen, if you are around, my daughter has requested more of your opinion and experience with Pokopia, because she is definitely super fascinated in that game. So I would love to hear how you're feeling about it lately. Thunderous Therian form. Also, I was curious if you had decided to pick up Fire Red or Leaf Green, the ports for Switch 2. So I am labeling my layers, which is the typing that you hear in the background. I know you can't see my table of contents in here. Okay. Okay, got my labels layered. There we go. It's fun, but you haven't been playing much of it. Oh, that's right. Gale of Darkness was on the GameCube app. Leaf Green. That works out. For some reason, the Fire Red just makes sense for Frank. Maybe just the F. Like the FR is in Frank. I don't know. Either way, it makes sense. It seems kind of like entirely logical. All right. There we go. We'll go with that color. I'll go ahead and bring up my timer. Now that I've spent several minutes doing all the setup work, here we go. No worries. No worries. How's it going, Frank? Any luck on the job search, by the way? He beat you to it. Yeah, I had both for a period of time back before I traded in my GBA and all the games. I'll go ahead and start the timer now. So, hey, you're welcome to join me in the warm-up, by the way, in case I had not mentioned that. I encourage everyone to have fun and draw. Even if you don't want to draw Pokemon, draw something else. It's to me very therapeutic and enjoyable. So 5-minute timer though does start now. So I think I got, if I remember correctly, I think I got Fire Red first, and then I got Leaf Green because I needed to trade with myself. All right, how am I even gonna do this? All right, so what is the? Okay, that is the pencil that I want. Cool. So we're gonna have the head kind of like that. Definitely have the horn here. Kind of like get the mustache thing going on here. And then we can actually let that extend into this. And then these will come out from behind. Something like that. A little bit of a notch there, but not too much. Apparently, I'm just gonna have a super detailed, like, head and then nothing else done when the timer goes off. Okay. We'll give it like the little ears there. Actually, the neck does not go that direction. Is that an ancient Pokemon? Yeah, it's, you know, so obviously it's a, I say obviously, it's the like ancient form, I think, of Volcanera. This is very interesting trying to do these with the Pokemon that are like legendary or just, you know, the ancient ones that they clearly have a lot more detail to them. Which on one hand gives me a lot more kind of fuel to work with for figuring out how they might look. But at the same time, it's very, it's a lot to work in 5 minutes. I'm not even going to take a second to look at the timer because I'm pretty sure I'm woefully behind after all this. So apparently this is where I just kind of go into random, you know, panic sketching mode. Maybe I'll actually give it kind of the furry torso. I'll add this like little chest plate like feature here. A little bit of cloud thing coming up off of there. Kind of merge both styles of tail. You're mad at me? I didn't think I even had time to do anything to get you mad at me. I must be very productive. Okay, I feel like that's a lot of it. I also feel like the timer is probably going to go off any second now, so I'm going to try to just clean up as best I can. Yep, there we go. Wow, look at me and my time management. I'm getting evicted because, like, oh no, I'm in your Sims game. I mean, I say oh no. It is kind of an honor, as long as you're not, like, setting me on fire all the time. I don't even know if that's really an option. I just feel like it's a thing that you should be able to do. You made me. So, I'm an old man who keeps jumping on couches. Guilty. I don't even know how to, like... I set the kitchen on fire making mac... Okay, I am fairly handy in the kitchen. That part, at least, is not realistic. That part. I mean, maybe the absent-mindedness. I do love a good mac and cheese, though, so that's pretty true to character. Okay. Okay, this is okay. This is all right. It's largely so-so. I feel like I can definitely see some things that I would change moving forward. He makes me scold Lily. Why me? Do something like that. Fix some of the torso a little bit. The roundedness doesn't feel quite right there. That does feel a little better, and maybe then I know the timer run off, and I'm technically breaking my own arbitrary rules. But that proportion looks better. Okay, that fixes a surprising amount, actually. And basically it just slowly is turning into a dinosaur, is what's happening here. Also, I am jobless. I mean, clearly I can't be trusted in even like a McDonald's kitchen because I'm just gonna burn everybody's stuff. Can't work in like a furniture store because I'm just gonna jump on all the merchandise. It makes sense, you know, sad. Wait, could I be a Walmart grader? There's probably not a Walmart specifically in The Sims, but there's probably an equivalent, right? Lily got fired from her job. What was her job? Okay, the last thing I need to do is I do need to name this. I forgot to name the last one, but that's fine. She was an extra on the movies. Nice. Fun fact. 2 members of my family that are not me have been extras on shows because when we lived in Georgia, there's a lot of filming that gets done there. So we all signed up with central casting. I was never able to make anything because of my work schedule. And the one time that I was like, okay, I'm just going to clear the decks and do it. I responded I could do it and they didn't call me back. And got Lily fired. How did she get Lily fired? I told you to be. But yeah, so fun fact, Ashley has been in the background of one episode of the new version of MacGyver. Well, it was new like 5 years ago. That, you know, obviously back when we lived in the area. And we have another kiddo who is on several. She was in the background of an episode of Good Girls on NBC. She was in the background of an episode of Raising Dion. And she was also in one episode of WandaVision, which was pretty cool. If you have a sharp eye, you can spot her as one of these school children crossing the street in one of the episodes. She didn't yell at you loud enough when you made a decision. There's like a very valuable life lesson somewhere in here. We all just kind of want to blame other people for not yelling loud enough when we're making decisions. But then we're angry if they do yell loud enough, I feel like. Okay, so do we go with Slitherous or do we go with Thunderwing? What fits this better? It doesn't seem as slithery. Maybe Thunderwing, but it doesn't seem as thundery either. Maybe we go with Slitherous. I think that's what we have to do. I mean, if I really wanted to be obnoxious about it, I could say like the Wingian form. That doesn't even really make sense, but I'm just gonna, we're just gonna go with it. Okay. Yay. We are warmed up. 40 minutes in. I'm not breaking any records tonight. Yeah. I guess I did actually have a lot to talk about anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. We're all just having fun here anyway. Did you guys do anything on April Fool's Day? Play any pranks? Get pranked? Last April Fool's, you got yelled at, so you're smart enough not to do April Fool's this year. Fair. You don't do April Fool's Day. There was a period of time, like in grad school, where I probably did, but we don't really do it much anymore. Especially given the fact that, like, with kids, it kind of, if you let that genie out of the bottle, it will take on a life all its own, and you definitely can't put it back in the bottle. So in that regard, I've kind of myself also stopped really doing anything for it. I do appreciate that it's not as blatant as it used to be, where like there was a while I feel like where it's just like okay, it's April 1st, I can't trust anything that I see anywhere today on the internet. I think people have kind of chilled it out a little bit, which is nice. I still do find myself, like, when people have serious announcements or meetings or things, and it's April 1st, I'm like, really? That's the day that you chose to do this? That's the best day you could think of to do this? But, the world does have to roll on, whether it's April Fool's or not, I suppose. Oh yeah, yesterday also, like, huge, like, the shuttle launch. It was really cool. We were able to see it technically from our house. We did walk down the block to a green space, a park nearby to watch it, but it was cool seeing the Artemis 2 mission go up. Oh, you missed it? Oh man, sorry. Thankfully, there was not much drama to miss. Like, it's still crazy to think, like, no, they're up there, they're on their way. It's like a 7-day mission around the moon until they come back. Yeah, it was super neat. And I thought it was really special getting out and seeing, like, all these pockets of other individuals who came out of their houses, came out to the park to, like, just to see the launch, to see it go up, and you can hear the roar, even from Cape Canaveral over here in Central Florida. Yeah, this is our first out of Earth orbit in 50 years, and depending on the exact path they take, they could actually be the humans that have gone the farthest away from Earth on record, depending on exactly where in the moon's orbit they're intersecting. Alexei, hey! Respectful greetings, it's so good to see you! Welcome back, man. Well, always respectfully. Yeah, of course we missed you. Of course, man, it's good to see you. How have you been? So yeah, this is where what I'm working on right now with the D&D group illustration. Just to kind of recap, I do this, I think, every time to show the full progress. We have a really large party. These are the finished characters. And of course, I do have a skeleton familiar to add in here. And then we have these characters yet to do. And a background. So I am about halfway on this. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been fun doing this style. I like it, and I also really have enjoyed seeing the kind of the creativity that our fellow players have put into their characters. It's pretty amazing seeing what everybody comes up with. Hold on, where are you? I see a backfill layer that is out of control. Better. Okay, that's more like it. But yeah, it's been really cool seeing everybody's characters and getting a feel for them. You know, when you've got 20 plus people in a game, you don't get the chance to do character introductions and descriptions. There's not as much chance for the role play side of things. So I think it's really great when you, it was really great getting to visualize all the characters and be like, oh, that's this character. That's like when they were doing this. It's been really fun. I know I've said which one is my character before, but does anybody want to guess if they don't remember? If you do remember, you can say it, but hold up a second and let somebody else call it out. It's the old man. Wait, which one is the old man? Are you talking about the elf fighter? Like this one? Not actually an old man, just white hair. Also, thank you so much for not saying the skeleton guy. Like, that's me. It's me. Alright. Letting Alexa guess. The guy with the horns? The raccoon? It could be... So no, it's no horns involved in my character, nor any bushy tails per se. Yeah, so we do have this satyr character who's really cool. Actually, the guy who plays him DMs a lot, so it's ridiculous, like how he can maximize the output of his character. And this is actually a Eladrin, which is like an elemental elf, which is super cool, but also not me. Any other guesses before I reveal it, or let Frank do it? Thanks. You know what's really interesting is the amount of variety in even just the level of detail that players gave to describe their characters. Like the initial sketch, I was keeping a secret from our DM. So I had very discreetly like passed around the sheet to get all the descriptions. Man, every week. Okay, I can give you a hint. Yes, the character is not yet colored. It's one that has yet to be completed. That's a good point of clarification. Okay. While we're doing that, I can show you guys, like, I made like a whole document to try to collect all the character info. I think this is safe to show because it doesn't point to any actual people. I didn't collect names. I don't even know the names of the people behind some of the characters unless I am actually just friends with them. But it's not in the sheet, so I think I can share this. So the campaign we were playing was Wild Beyond the Witchlight. We've kind of moved on from that to a little bit different one. But at least that, I made sure to label it hold on, you can't see it. You'll see it when I bring it up. Sorry. So yeah, like, I collected all the information. You're overthinking this, so you go for the big dog man. No, not actually the big dog man. But yeah, some of them, like, literally, 5 words of description, not much more. Some people actually gave like full paragraphs, more information, lots of descriptive language. Other ones, like, literally just their name, their race, and their class, and that was it. The Dwarven Bard actually gave me their whole, he actually did a sketch, which was super helpful. And then there's Sonic Ball. His description is just Sonic Ball. Okay, so anyway, it was super fun. It was cool to actually get the chance to collect all the information and do all that, and then I got to do some design myself. So, all right, are we ready? Are we ready for the reveal? My character, Sonic Ball is Sonic Ball. I am not Sonic Ball. Although there's something brilliant about the simplicity and irony of it. Please reveal. So this is actually my character here in the upper right. I'm the mushroom. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I'm actually the orc wild magic barbarian here, except he thinks that he's a wizard, and he just has a special kind of magic called angry magic. So when he like, the cool thing with wild magic barbarians is when you rage, which is, if you don't play D&D, that's the barbarian special ability. You rage, and it confers a set of bonuses to you, as well as, as long as you, I think, take damage or deal damage each turn, or you can re-up it each turn if you need to as a bonus action. But and certain subclasses of barbarian get extra effects when they rage. Well, he's not necessarily old. Like, I guess it's funny. So Frank, is that who you met when you said the old man? Because I guess I didn't think him as old per se. Like, he's actually, like, he has purple hair. But yeah, just random. Like, it's an 8-sided die that you roll when you go into rage, and depending on what you roll, one of 8 magical effects will randomly happen along with his rage. And it was funny because the first campaign I played a cleric, and we had lots of combat in that one. And then I'm like, okay, well, let's see what it's like being an actual class that's made for combat. So I'm going to be a barbarian. And I made this character. And then we did almost no combat the entire campaign. Because apparently Wild Beyond the Witchlight is a campaign that you can play through almost entirely pacifist if you really want to. Without any colors, he looks like an old wizard with big teeth. Fair. That's fair. I'd actually made like a character nameplate that I put in front of myself during sessions so that people could see my character or visualize my character. In case it wasn't obvious, like, the visual aspect of things is very important to me. Given that I've said visual about 800 times so far. Hold on a second. I'm gonna hop over. I'm digging for a second, so I'm gonna hop over here while I dig through to see where I've got the actual nameplate art. Oh, thank you. Oh, there he is. His name is Gorbin. just that's his name. Okay, there you go. I found it. Look at that. So yeah, this is the nameplate that I had up. Obviously, so you can fold it over in half and it will stand up and people can see. But that's Gorman. That's him. But yeah, anyway, that's my dude. I do think the color really adds a lot to it. Although, you know, the old man wizard with big teeth also kind of works as a character concept. All right, so I should probably actually, now that we're almost at 11 o'clock, I should probably actually start working on my main thing. I am trying to finish this still before we have our first game at the new library. This is a library D&D campaign, which is partially why it's so big. It welcomes everybody, and it's very much like a drop-in, drop-out thing. But they're opening a new branch of the Orange County Library, and the librarian who runs the game, our DM, is switching to the new branch. So I'm trying very hard to finish this by the time that the new branch opens and they can schedule a game. USPS is going to charge for gas now? Oh my gosh. Can I mail you guys the oil from my country? I feel like there's going to be shipping restrictions on that, but I appreciate the offer. Oh goodness. I'm going to, in general, try to refrain from political commentary, but you know, conflicts in that part of the world, in your part of the world, probably are not helping a whole lot with oil and gas prices. All right, so I am working on flats on this character. She is a necromancer, of course. So I'm just filling in some areas where the bucket fill did not cover everything. I've got some weird artifacts going on. And I started on a little bit of shading as well, but I'm going to get back to that momentarily here. Oh no, the price dropped. Oh, is there like did spring break just end in your area? Because I feel like there's usually that little bit of a hike around spring break, and then like it settles back down when spring break's done and people don't need as much gas. Sorry on everyone's behalf. Well, international conflict is not, you know, your fault. To be fair, it's there are many parties involved. I feel like that's about as much as I want to say about it. I do not, because I tend to work on kid stuff, I do not want this to become a political conversation channel. Also, it's exhausting. But yeah, Alexei, what have you been up to lately anyway? It's really nice to see you. I was thinking about you just the other day, just at least a stream or two ago. I was hoping you're doing well. it's funny because I'm paying so much attention to detail in here, but I know like a lot of this will be covered up, and also there's so much going on in this illustration that probably a lot of these finer details won't matter, but it's kind of the perfectionist in me. I've also been doing individual, like exporting the individual pieces for the characters. I have a whole sub page on our website. I need to update it with some of the more recent characters that I've finished, but I'm hosting the kind of work in progress shots of this picture, and then the individual character art, so that everybody, if they want it, they can come in and get their character design and, you know, use it for their campaigns, use it, you know. I guess that'd be the most common thing. I don't know, maybe they just want to put it as their phone wallpaper of their character. Maybe not. Maybe there's a character they don't like that they want to like draw mustaches on. Who knows? Oh, how I've been? Good adjacent. It's good, I would say, in general. I don't know, I always have the thing where it doesn't necessarily matter what kind of day I've been having, but like if someone asks me how I'm doing, not only is it my reflexive instinct to say good, but I automatically forget literally everything that's happening in my life and can only think to say like, oh, it's good. It's weird, but that's me. It's been good. Busy. We have had non-emergency, for the most part, medical stuff going on in the family, and that we're coming clear of that now, but that definitely is draining. That's exactly what happened to you when I asked. It's just, I don't know what it is. But it's nice to know that I'm not the only person who experiences this. That's for sure. It's just, yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. But also it's like, well, if there was more to it, it's, you know, it's gone now. Do I want to make this a little bit darker in like the undershirt type thing? I think I do. Now there will be shadows in here, which will darken everything up a little bit further, but I think this is good for now. Okay. And just the crystal, which, I mean, I could do it as like a bluish crystal. And speaking of how things are going for people, I still am curious, Frank, if you've had any luck so far in your job hunt. I know you said you were working overnights. Who is this old man to whom which you are referring? I have no idea who this could be. Oh, you said, oh. My apologies, I must have missed that in the scroll. So sorry. I'm getting evicted. Well, wait, in The Sims, right? You're not actually evicting me. I mean, technically, you know, you probably can't actually evict me from my own house, but just want to make sure. And real life, but just you. Well, hey, I'm just happy you stopped by, Alexei. If you have to go, no worries. Just know that we're happy to see you whenever you can come in, and we are thinking about you when you're not able to make it, and hoping all is well. I sleep in the yard. You know, I mean, not here, but I've definitely slept I've slept on balconies before. This is the life of a snorer. The most respectful of respectfulest goodbyes to you as well. Have a good week and a good day. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you soon. I mean, I don't necessarily love the idea of sleeping outside here, as I would likely end up with either a snake, an opossum, maybe a raccoon. Armadillos are always a possibility. We get a lot of birds, so it could be like an ibis or an egret. We have an owl too. Definitely lots of lizards. I don't really cherish the idea of waking up with any of those on me or around me, so I'm not wild about that part. I would look for elevated ground. Yeah. Okay, so I finished. I feel like the flat colors are pretty well touched up. So I'm just gonna come back in here and return to our shading. Actually, I should probably use the darker here. Types that up a little bit later. Oh, also, Frank, are you working on a comic tonight? I was just telling my my critique group today about how fast you are and how envious I am of that. Yes. All right, cool. I will make sure we have sharing time at the end, if you wish to do so. Speaking of sharing time, also, I have not forgotten about Fallen's dessert of the week. If Fallen, if you're here and you want to do that, you're welcome to. However, also if you're tired and don't feel like it or kind of just needed a break from it, that's okay too. Just let me know. Either way is cool with me. There's no pressure, just an open invitation, always. Nope. You forgot about it. No worries. No worries. I will definitely say that not only did I enjoy it, but Ashley and the kids definitely loved seeing all the stuff too, so. Always happy to welcome it back if you're feeling up for it. Okay, pretty happy with that. So I've got my reference layer set up correctly there. Maybe I do want to do the darker one here. Yeah. I know I don't want to overdo it with the darkness on the shadows, especially since I don't want to like make this character stand out in the wrong way from the rest of the characters, but because she is a necromancer, I do want to amp up the contrast a little bit at least. Give a little bit of that darker, edgier vibe to things. Oops, I keep on doing that. So I think on the lighter colors I'm going to use, I have two tones for my shadows here. One that's like this and one that's like this. And I'm just switching them up. So on the lighter tones, I'm using the lighter shading color with multiply. And on the darker tones, like the blacks and the greens, I'm using the darker one just to kind of bring them out. Actually, I know it's 11:15 now. I since we had just kind of dug in, at 11, I didn't do break yet, so I'm gonna do that now because I also have to pee really bad. So I'm gonna go to be right back, and I will indeed be right back in about 2 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna run the 1 minute ad roll while we're on break. Yeah, and we'll be back in just a little bit. So have a good break and see you in a few. As soon as I find my thing. There we go, yay! Okay, and we're back. Hope y'all had a good break. Hi! I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, welcome back. Hope you had a good break. I'm feeling a bit recharged after, some water, bathroom, and a quick snack. Let's keep going. As you see, just a giant necromancer filling your screen. With a minorly unhinged look. Just minorly. Excuse me, goodness. So I will say, even though I'm happy to always do a warm-up, and happy that I did a warm-up tonight, I did get to do a little bit of drawing today after work. One kiddo and I kind of go through phases with his like, we have a graphic novel project that we kind of work on together, like a series we've been working on and off over the years, the last few years. And when he's into it, he definitely very much encourages me to be active in assisting with penciling and inking things. So I did a little bit of that after work today, which was nice. I could do the navigation window again on this, where kind of you can always see no matter where I'm rotating things and zooming in. But at the same time, like, I feel like the changes would be so tiny then, because I'm working in such a small area of a big group picture. I don't know if that's actually helpful. Okay. We are progressing. I think what's been fun, like doing the D&D illustration especially, and when I've been flipping back and forth between this and CoreToons, kind of realizing how much more detail I'm putting into this than I would in a typical piece. Oh, wait a minute, that's not... Okay, never mind. It makes sense. I was trying to figure out how this robe wrapped again, and I feel like every time it's kind of a confusing design that I chose on it. I feel like every time I have to stop and think again about how it would actually, how it works, and if it makes sense. I think largely it does. Like, this is the actual seam of the robe, but it has this inlay on the front that actually matches up on both sides of it when you wrap it. And that makes sense to me, somehow. Start here, so I can do the lighter here. Yeah, I don't usually do as much on the textures and things like when I'm doing the comics, but it's been fun trying to get a little bit more of like the fabric-y type feel and texture to this as I've worked on it. I think it's really fun sometimes when you work on something that is just different than your usual style. I think it's a good opportunity for growth. Because you always learn things that you can apply back to like your main kind of bread and butter type situation. I'm using the darker shadow color in here on purpose because this is like an interior shadow, so it's gonna just naturally be darker. I didn't want it to differentiate it. I'm super excited. So this song is from Chrono Cross, and the Game's Done Quick Frost Fatales Marathon, which was just last month. They had some special t-shirt designs from the Yeti, and one of them was a Chrono Cross design, and it was like an Art Nouveau style, which is like a favorite of mine. So obviously I ordered that, and that actually I think gets here tomorrow, so I'm pretty stoked about that. Oh, right. So this would be... Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Okay, that does help make a little bit clearer that whole mess. Okay. Okay, we are coming along. Yeah, good times. It's so interesting working on a piece like this, especially like with a lot of detail. It's both exciting and encouraging, but also disparaging all at the same time. Because on one hand, I'm like, oh man, look at all the detail, it's looking good. And then on the other hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, how long have I been working on this like one part of this one character? Am I ever gonna actually finish this? The answer is yes, I am gonna finish this. Okay. Just a lot of shadows and layers. That's all. That's all. Man, who drew this anyway? It's that feeling like it reminds me of the memes that use the clip of Obi-Wan Kenobi from A New Hope. What is that like? Hold on. It's the, of course I know him, he's me. But there's one that was specific. Hold on. It's like with Get Blame, I want to say. Yeah, it was okay. It was the, like, you know, there's like the thing where Obi-Wan and Luke are talking, and Luke's asking, like, you know, because Luke only knows him as Ben, so he's like, hey, have you ever heard of this Obi-Wan? Do you know this Obi-Wan Kenobi? It's just like, and he says, well, of course I know him. He's me. But then like someone adapted it like, hey, I'll just do get blame so I know who wrote this terrible code. Of course I know him. It's me. I identify that with that a lot sometimes. Sorry, I'm just getting lost in Get Blame memes now. It's like the Captain America from Endgame, like, when I run blame on the file to see who wrote such garbage code. He's like looking at himself. You gotta be kidding me. Also the my colleague crying over undocumented code. Me looking at Get Blame and seeing his name next to the code in question. I mean, thankfully our work group doesn't use Get Blame specifically. We do use Git at least. Why is it when you make a class in OOP you reference cell? Object-oriented programming. Well, you see, at one time, I feel like I read this, but I'm also not a computer science major. I just looked at the clouds for college, so I'm just gonna claim that. I'm just gonna claim that, for instance. Yeah. Well, when you're writing a class, you are writing methods for it, right? So the methods I'm guessing to have a, okay, this is me like hand wavy explanation, but I believe it's because you need a pointer, right? To be able to reference the attributes of the object, even within its own function. So probably to establish the pointer correctly, you need to pass in self, would be my guess. Or otherwise, just for kind of a bookkeeping nomenclature thing, just to make it clear what you're referencing or where you're getting everything. That's my guess. I don't actually have a CS degree or even a minor, but from the little bits that I picked up, that would make sense to me. So that sounds correct to you as well? Again, I just want to state very clearly that I don't actually know the answer to this, the full answer, and this is just me guessing. You know what? I always forget that there are a lot of really good programming channels on Twitch as well. And like I'll discover one and watch it for like a little bit and then kind of forget about it and it'll fall out of my rotation. And I'm like, man, I could learn a lot from these guys. And then I learned like nothing. Huh. But you know what I do see is an art mistake, right? Oh man. So, I'm noticing that she has all these pendants and stuff, but funny thing, none of the actual necklace part, the chain actually extends above her cloak, but it should. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. It doesn't just come out of nowhere. Let's fix that. It's connected to the cloak. I mean, that would be a good explanation, but at the same time, I'm like, that doesn't seem right. That's not how most people wear jewelry, to my knowledge. I mean, not that I know a ton of people that wear cloaks, to be fair. But, it seems to me that doesn't make entire sense. So I'm just gonna fix that. Actually, I should have a little bit here. Okay. And again, I will also just point out that this is probably one of the tiniest details that in the full illustration is not going to be that noticeable. But sometimes it's just like, I know it's there, and that's enough to bother me. Yeah, that's enough to bother me until I like have to fix it just for my own sanity. Oh, did I draw? Ah, boo. drew that on the shadow layer. Okay, you know what? It's gonna live there. I don't care enough to fix that. Fix one mistake, introduce a new one. It's all good. I don't care enough to fix that because definitely not even I will see what the actual layers are looking at a final exported image. So yeah, don't tell anybody. Don't tell future me that I let that exist still. When I blissfully forget that exists, don't remind me about that layer mistake I made. Okay, feel like I do need to fix the hands here, or shade in this. Use the lighter tone here since it's not as completely enclosed. It should grow like that. There we are. And I will probably have to end up cutting and pasting this hand anyway, since this is going to have to then go on front of the skeleton familiar. But we will cross that road when we get there. That's all right. That's reasonable enough. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. And we keep going. It's actually really funny thinking of Git, or speaking of Git. We do have like a actual CS background member of our team who he'll be retiring coming up later this year, but he also has been like the principal investigator for a lot of our projects. Really sharp on his stuff with programming, and he's helped me clean up my code so much. So he's been going through and cleaning up some of our main project code. It definitely has, in terms of bringing it in line with like best practices for coding, it's made a lot of improvements there, but definitely broken things many times more than once. Ew, CS. I know. I don't know. I think I have a lot of respect for anybody who has done computer science as a major and really can program, considering those like deeper workings of everything. As someone who is very often just like so excited about like I can make it do the thing. I don't usually have those deeper considerations in mind. Who wants to hear me hit the high note in this song? Everyone? Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I learned my lesson from the first ASMR joke slash attempt. Take on me. Take on me. Be gone. I do love that they incorporated the song into the first Mario movie, the Mario Brothers movie. Is unexpected in the Kong Kingdom of all places, but I like that since, you know, DK came out in the 80s, they got that nice 80s vibe to it. I'm really excited to see the Galaxy movie. We haven't seen it yet. But for sure, I like the Galaxy games are my favorite Mario games, at least of the 3D Mario era. And Rosalina is one of my favorite characters. And I loved Super Mario Brothers 2, even though it's not what Super Mario Brothers 2 was in Japan. So I'm very excited that they have like brought Wart back out of the video game grave. You heard that it didn't get good ratings? In general, I find that I don't agree with critics a whole lot. And even things that are often considered like the worst, I tend to come away still enjoying. And I think this one is one of those cases where like I just like the characters in the world so much that unless they do something really terrible, that just utterly disrespects the actual characters in games, I couldn't care less what the critics say. I'm just gonna enjoy it and let like the inner child in me squee throughout the entire movie. That's more or less where I'm at, personally speaking. I know it's something that Ashley and I noticed like early on is like also all the things that critics tend to like are these like dramatic, like emotionally complicated plots, and like they're great, they're moving, oftentimes they're heart-wrenching, and I have a lot of respect for the storytelling that goes on there, but man, I don't need that extra drama in my life. I'm good. Give me like the happy, semi-predictable stuff most of the time. We have enough drama, so let's just like escape from the drama. Even admitting that that's not 100% realistic. That's my take. I don't know. Everyone's mileage varies, but honestly, that's where I'm at. Did you see the first one, Frank? Just the Super Mario Brothers movie? Oh, you didn't? Okay. Well, if you get an opportunity to do so, I very much enjoyed it. Although please take then into consideration all that I've just said about my taste and discernment. and the fact that I have been a lifelong giant Mario fan. Yeah. Interestingly, I'm realizing that this character doesn't have all that much of the fabric-y dynamics that I have in some of the other characters in terms of how I did the line art. Like even the skirt part of her robe is just very, like I imagine it being like almost a canvasy like material, something that has a lot of form of its own to it and doesn't really doesn't get as flowy as some of the other types of fabrics. So it's like it's very stiff and set in place. Actually, I should just, because this is all behind, so I should just fill this in. Yeah, we probably, well, I shouldn't make plans or speak in definites, but it would be cool to go see the Mario Galaxy movie while it's in theaters still. Bonus points if we can locate one of those Yoshi popcorn dispensers. Okay. Almost done with the shading here. I will add highlights, of course, because, you know, why not make things harder? Oh goodness, it's already 11:53. Where does the time go? But I will be largely done with shading on this character at least. While I'm thinking about it, I expect that for the next few streams, at the very least next week, if not the following one, I'll be continuing on this piece. I'm going to be pushing through more off stream to try to finish this where I can, as quickly as I can. But I expect we'll be working on this for a bit. And then by what, April? It is April, doofus. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Hold on just a second. No, not it. Summer Games Done Quick, July 5th through July 12th. Oh, dude. I love their t-shirt design for it already. Okay, so run submissions have just closed off on March 31st. volunteer applications and art alley applications. Well, volunteer applications have closed actually, which I wasn't going to be doing that anyway. Our artist alley is open, which I'm tempted every time I see it. But I don't know that I'm going to be in Minneapolis for a week this summer. So, tempting though, always. You didn't art enough to share. Oh no. That's okay. You know what? We'll get it next time. Okay, so May 1st. May 1st is when GDQ, the SGDQ 26 games list will be released. It's not the schedule. The schedule won't be until the 15th of May, which is 2 weeks later, obviously. But here's what's going to happen come May 1st is... Obviously, I have CoreToons stuff that we're trying to get our last issue before the summer out by like late May, but we're actually not doing a comic for that one. That's going to be all activities. Take you with me. Well, I don't know that I'm going to Minneapolis is the problem. Otherwise, I gladly would. Granted, Taos is a little bit out of my way to get to, but, we could road trip it, make a movie. It'd be fun times. Yeah, so when the games list hits, that's go time, because my goal is to finish. I keep on striving for this and not quite making it. I'm gonna do it one of these times, and I think this time might be it. My goal is to finish my piece by June 1st, 2026, so I can get it submitted, get it printed, check it out. And that's if I don't do the cut paper. The cut paper could be a cool thing. Just pick you up and we'll drive there. Oh, thanks, Frank. Yeah, honestly, it feels like a buddy road trip movie just waiting to happen. But yeah, the plan is that all of May will be like blitzing on getting the GDQ piece done, whatever that is, whether that's cut paper with like resin, shadow box, or whether that's digital and getting it printed on something cool. Needs to be done by June 1st so I can get it approved, submitted, printed, shipped, check it out myself, send it off to GDQ, and then be ready to have it in tons of time. I was glad that the last one got in time, although I did have to expedite the shipping on it to get it there. I'd like to not do that this time and just get it there on time because I was actually disciplined and got everything done on schedule. That isn't always how my life works, but I would like to strive for it. I would like to strive for it very much. So that is the plan. So we'll be, I don't know, I just had like the lower torso in the focus while I've been checking out other stuff. Until May 1st, when the games list comes out, we'll be plugging along on this. If we happen to finish beforehand, that's amazing. That again, that has not typically been the experience. But then May 1st will hit, we'll be in GDQ mode, deciding on and submitting that piece with possible CoreToons work along the way, although not a full comic until we're prepping what will be going in then to the back to school issue, which will hit in August. So that's the plan. So Frank, I know you've mentioned that you did stuff for like the Dead by Daylight contest for like character design stuff. Do you do any other video game fan art? I mean, I've seen your comics, but I was just curious. So I'm like, hey, you could do Artist Alley. Do you do any video game fan art type stuff? That's the question. That is the entirety of it. No? Okay. Also, realizing that, like, thinking about even as tempted as I am to table one of these days, like, when I think about doing it, I immediately then spiral on to the fact of, like, oh, I have to go through all my stuff, decide what would be a good print, what I could actually sell at something like that. Then I have to, get it printed. I have to get a bunch of them printed to be able to sell them, and then, transport it all. It quickly can become overwhelming too. So I shouldn't assume that anybody else necessarily wishes to sign up for that. I do have friends that have tabled at a number of different events, like Mocha, the most recent one. And from what they've told me, they've had an absolute blast doing it, but I'm also realizing it's a good amount of work to get even set up to do something like that, and my life isn't always conducive to that with a kiddo with medical needs. But it would be cool to be able to do that. We'll figure it out. We're trying to figure out, we've, with the one kiddo, the seizures, when they noticeably started, it was about 6 months of time, and then we got them managed on a medication, and they stayed managed for a little over 2 years, and they came back, and then we kind of, put a pause on a bunch of stuff. But I think we're also getting to that point of realizing, like, we can't pause everything forever. We do need to, we've been gradually kind of adding more activities and things, but realizing that we gotta do more living with all this. So I feel like maybe we're not as far from tabling, but we're probably going to be attending our first convention just in regular attendee mode later this summer, like as a family. Like, we won't be tabling or anything like that, but there's a Disney focused event called House of Mouse Expo that'll be going on here in Orlando in, is it July, August, something like that. And I think we'll be checking that out. I think that is very far ahead for us to lock anything in advance, so not a guarantee, but would be cool, are considering. It looks like a fun event. Okay. I know it's a little bit after midnight here. Just trying to finish this little bit of shading. Now I will need to go in, and you probably noticed in the other ones that I definitely did a lot of blending and shading to kind of make it a bit more, like, soften it up. And I'm doing this very rough on here, knowing that I'm going to come in and do that kind of work. But I would like to at least get the blocks of color down so I can come back and get that. Okay, almost there. surely when I come back to this, I'll remember that that's, you know, I put those there on purpose to sell the texture, and that when I lighten it up, it'll look great. Because clearly I'm a genius. Yeah, that's probably not going to be how that's going to work, but it's worth a shot. Worth a shot, as Maui says. Okay. And then I'll do like a gradient or airbrush darken on some of this too to give a little bit more depth. But this is all right. This is pretty heckin' good, I'd say, for a night's work, especially considering I didn't really start until fairly late. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's great. But I will go ahead and say that'll do it for tonight. By the way, I was totally wearing my D&D shirt for this. I've had this shirt this whole like couple of years, but I just I never think to wear it for stream. I'm always wearing my my video game Getty shirts. But this is like has been my D&D uniform whenever we've gone to our library sessions. I've been usually wearing this one, so it felt right. Felt right for today. All right, so that'll wrap up art time. So Frank, you didn't have anything you felt was ready to share. Am I just confirming that? I know that's what you said. It never hurts to ask. Nothing yet? Okay. No worries. So if that's the case, I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I think that's it for tonight. Nothing crazy going on. I am looking to take a little bit more time off in April, potentially some Fridays, and I might try to do some streams then, like daytime streams, maybe? Excuse me. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way to notify, because our Instagram is not active right now. I could just try to do a Twitch story in advance, like more than just 5 minutes if possible. If I do that, so I'll probably try to do a Twitch story. I think that's probably the best way, because this is, aside from YouTube, this is where I'm the most active. Well, YouTube, it's just the posts of these recordings. So this is my most active primary platform. So I'll probably just do that if I end up doing it. But do keep an eye out Fridays in April. I may try something like that, because I know I owe you guys a couple of makeup streams, and I want to finish this D&D piece anyway. And I've been looking for kind of windows to stream a bit more. So that's the plan. YouTube remains mostly up to date. I did only just get last week's stream posted today. I scheduled it last night to post today. Trying to keep up with putting the previous week's stream up on Wednesdays ahead of the next week's stream. We'll keep on cruising on this D&D piece for next week, and we'll see where things go after that as I continue to work off stream. So this will be progressed by the next time y'all see it. I think that's all I got. I think that's everything. So with that being said, thank you everyone for joining. You can always find me here. Well, not always. You can usually find me here on Twitch Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern time in the United States. That's just my usual stream time. As I mentioned, if I try to get some extra streams in, I might try a Twitch story to announce that. If you enjoyed seeing this, please go check out our socials. Which you can find here. We're WagWorksGA pretty much everywhere that we're active, which right now is largely just Instagram, YouTube, and here on Twitch. But you can also check out our website. And I have work in progress pieces, a work in progress image of this D&D piece, as well as individual character art there. I need to update that. It's been a little, I've finished a few characters since the last update, but we'll do that. And you can see all of that there. We also have like a shop with some of the GDQ pieces that we've done over the years, towels, blankets, stuff like that. A cool chandelier tote bag, which we've not sent anywhere. What else? We have a blog on the website. We need to do better about filling that in. Let's see. Good old, yeah. You've probably seen the messages coming up, but check out CoreToons over at coretunes.substack.com, or you can also go to this address, lovereading.co/CoreToons. That's where you can find, you can actually browse and like binge some of our comics now on there, as well as that's where you'll find the digital magazine. Perhaps next week I'll share it. We've stopped really selling the subscriptions at this point because we're trying to determine what we want to do for next year and how much we're going to put into it. We don't want anybody to sign on for another year of something that's not what we're doing now. And that being the case, we may be offering the chance to access all the digital magazines that we've done / are doing so far for free. So I'll check back in with you guys next week, but I can probably give you guys a link for that at that point if anybody's interested. We're super proud of our little magazine. It's a 4-person team, and I think it looks like a much more than 4 people production, and I'm real proud of the work that all of us have done on it. Yeah. And of course, please go check out Frank over on his Instagram, which is Loosey Goosey Comic. They're great. They're fun. They will make you smile. They have a really good like Sunday Funnies energy. So please go check out Frank's comic. Also, you can follow him here on twitch.tv. Friday Night Frankie. He's fun. He's fun to watch. He draws comics and plays games. He's at least a double threat. I guess if you count talking, then he is a triple threat, truly. So go check out Frank. Show him some love. He's a good friend and a good moderator. Yeah, that's everything, y'all. So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you just hanging out with me. I like the chance to share this stuff with you guys. I say it every time. I'll say it again. Like, this is just kind of my Zen therapeutic time, getting to hang out and talk and do art with y'all. So thanks for being here with me. I really do appreciate it. If you're watching this the VOD of this, please feel free to drop a like, a subscribe, a follow, a comment, really whatever is appropriate for where you are. But it's another great way to support me. And if you've been here, you're always welcome in chat, but if you just want to lurk, that's okay too. Go away, you. No, I'm not done shouting out at you yet. I did the shout out. I'm on TV. I get so distracted. I appreciate y'all being here. This is a lurk positive environment, so thanks just for spending some time here. Fallen, Alexei, it was great seeing you guys. I hope you're having a good night. I hope everyone has a great rest of your night. I hope you have a great week. Happy Easter if you celebrate. Happy Passover if you celebrate. There's probably other significant holidays that I'm totally missing, so I'm sorry for that, but also have a good one of those. And I'll see you guys next time. So have a good night. Thanks once again, and bye.